Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest on this episode of the NH Experience. He went from Compton to Columbia, had a great stint in the NFL playing for teams such as the Chargers, Cowboys, and Bills. Later on, went to extend his career into the sports broadcasting and television field as he worked for such companies as ESPN. Also hosted a radio show with Max Kellerman on ESPN LA, where I met him as an intern. And then he later on went on to doing more great things at Fox Sports 1, hosting a show with Emmanuel Acho at the time called Speak for Yourself, and now hosts his own show the way he wants to do it. He's a father. He's also a coach. He is the one and only. You can catch him all around town. Marcellus Wiley. What's going on, man?
What up, Nick? My dog. NH. Let's talk through the neighborhood, homie.
You already know, man. Well, first and foremost, man, thank you for coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule. I greatly appreciate it.
My fam, let's do it.
I want to talk to you a little bit just about you and how you were able to navigate through certain spaces. Obviously, there's always some type of stigma when it comes to athletes, when it comes to education, especially Black athletes coming from the conditions and the backgrounds that we come from. How are you able to navigate through that mentally and be able to extend your career, not just from the sports space, but into the television and broadcasting space?
Yeah, man, I think it was a balancing act between nature and nurture, as they all talk about. I don't know the percentages, but I will say that at an early age, like day one of school, I was intellectually curious. Like, I thought it was cool naturally to go to the front of the class, raise your hand and try to answer every question, compete in academics, like not just go to class or go to school and talk my way through it, just joke my way through it, try to be the cool kid. Yeah, I wanted to be a part of all those crowds, but not priority. My priority was to be in the front of the class and learn something. Plus, I came to this early equation, like no matter what sport I play, I'm in class longer than I'm on a football field and I'm at practice. Like I'm giving them 7-8 hours. Then I go to practice, it's 2 hours. So I'm not gonna waste my time. So I think naturally, I was always that student. At least I wanted to chase and achieve inside the classroom. Then I just started doing calculations, realizing from all my friends, elders, family members, etc., that as much as I loved them and respected them, they didn't finish what they intended to do. They didn't realize their goals. They didn't live out their dreams. You could just tell. They lived on the edge. They were mad at times. They would you could hear their disappointment. They'll tell you, yeah, I used to be this. I used to be this. And then when I started hearing that enough, I started to realize I'm going to listen to what you're saying and add it to what I'm doing, but not let it take me away from what I potentially can be. So I just always kind of dreamt to be up there with the stars, man. And I ain't talking about people. I'm talking about being exactly who I could become.
Absolutely. Now, growing up, obviously in Compton is known for, positive and negative. Obviously, when we think about Compton, most people think about Compton for the violence or the negativity, but also there's a positive side to Compton. You think about Eazy-E, NWA, Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, MC8, Problem, DeMar DeRozan, guys like that, including yourself. What are some of the things that you took with you growing up in Compton that still resonate with you to this day?
Yeah, man. It's interesting, man, because I was born and raised in Compton. We moved when I was like 5 off Slauson over there. And, it depends on how real we want to be on this show. I can tell you where I live. Woo! Hey, man. It was in that spot.
Yeah, over here in Slauson. I get it.
yeah, for real. And it's so funny about Compton, man. It has a bad reputation unnecessarily. I think that, look, it was violent. It was gangs. It was war. It was a lot going on. And so when we moved, I used to hate Compton, tell you the truth, because it was scary to me. I'm like, man, these cats out here going at it. And, my uncle, so where we lived, all my family was banging. And it gives you protection, it gives you respect, but it also, that means sooner or later, they're going to piss off the wrong person, the wrong set, and they coming back. And I had to deal with that. I was like, dog, I ain't doing nothing but going to class and coming back, going to practice. And now my uncle got me in the mix. So I used to actually look at Compton from a distance, like I ain't like it. Because I was like, I want to just do different things. But then I grew to respect it. And I grew to respect it because of the adversity I went through that I was able to overcome. Not only did I survive, I was able to thrive, and I was tough. And I was like, damn, I wonder if I would have been this tough if I didn't grow up in these surroundings. Who knows? I don't have another life to live. But the point is, you had to navigate, man. You had to use so much of your mental space just to get home safely. And I'm not talking about every day it was going to be a shootout. I'm just talking about the little dude on the corner who he wanted $5 and he didn't have it. Or the other dude who, was mad your sister looked at his sister wrong, so now he got something to do with her or you. And all these are real examples. Like, I'm like, dog, I'm just trying to go home. But I look at the situation, how it made me stronger, and I got a healthy esteem for what I went through. But I think the reputation is skewed a little too heavy towards the hood stuff and the gang stuff. Man, there's so many good people, vice presidents, marketing, managers, CEOs, actors, Anthony Anderson, et cetera. Like, it's not just rapper, not just athlete. Like, a lot of great people came from Compton, from the hood.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a balance, and I wish more people would be able to see that. Like, stories like yourself and others that we named, they'd be able to say there are success stories and a lot more success stories that don't get reported versus the ones that do. You went on and connected with Max Kellerman. Now, everybody has their opinions about Max. And listen, I'm cool with Max. He treated me with respect every time, just like you did when I was, making a name for myself. What was that chemistry like with you and Max Kellerman, and what's it like today?
Oh, Marcellus is on the line? Yes. Oh.
Yeah, man. Like, day one with Max is crazy because he was in New York. He moved out to L.A. To get things rolling for us to do the show. And he did it for like a month before I couldn't come on contractually. I was like, obligated to stay away for a month. I don't even remember why, but it was weird. And I was listening to the show. I was like, man, that show sucks. I was like, man, they need me up in that thing. Like, and I'm serious. I was like, yo, Max ain't that great, but I loved him as a person. So people don't know, Max and I went to school together, and I didn't know him at all at school. He went to Columbia. He got there before me, and his ass left after me. Max was crazy, dog. Max wasn't tripping. Max was in them streets. So, he was a rapper and all this stuff. Max was just hilarious. And I remember going on this show when I was an active player, and I used to love going on his show. He had a radio show in New York, and he used to always call me, and I used to just go on there. And we started to build our relationship from there. And then when he was in LA that month without me, I was like, all right, I look forward to going in there with him and building up what we already started. And then, no lie, dog, the best things about Max, one, his intelligence, two, his humor, when he unleashes it. Max doesn't always let people know how funny he is, whether it's the circumstances, the context, if it's TV versus radio, there's different Max Kellermans. I've seen it. And Max Kellerman on the radio, my God, dog, that dude is hilarious. People always said he talked too much when we did the show. It wasn't just that. I was laughing so much that I wasn't saying nothing. He had to fill in the blanks. This sucker there. Dog, Max a straight fool, man. And I just love that I can bond with somebody with such a different background. We love old school hip hop the same. If not, he liked it even more because he was a rapper. Just so much stuff in common that you would never see from us, looking at us from the outside. So that's why that's my dog.
Yeah, Max was cool, man. I just see you guys, being in the studio. I see how you guys had really good chemistry, man. And that's something that's for guys that really grow up with each other or really even know each other, seriously prior to, man, that was an amazing chemistry, an amazing show. You later on went on to FS1. Obviously, things didn't work out for Speak For Yourself. You had a great run on that show, and your co-hosts were replaced for various reasons. You said something that really stuck out to me, and you were like, hey, somebody asked you about, Emmanuel Acho and that situation. And to me, I feel like you took the high road because I felt like, yo, man, somebody slight me and do me sideways. I'm like, I'm corrupt calling out names. I'm Machiavelli. Like, what we doing? But you took the high road. And even though you were no longer affiliated, but you still took the high road. What is that experience like? How did you have to manufacture that in your mind to be like, okay, how am I going to handle this and be able to not come off like bitter, but still truthful at the same time?
Yeah, man. It's funny you say that because I really didn't take the high road. I just said what I felt, but it probably came off as the high road because I don't think anyone understands that full picture. Let me try and do my best to try and give it to you. I was at ESPN at like 2018, and then I was on Sports Nation, but it wasn't like Michelle Beadle and Max Kellerman. Max already went to First Take. It was Kerry Champion LZ. And, just being real, talking to the execs through that contract negotiation, they weren't in love with that show. They were in like with that show. So I felt that I wasn't, one, going to get properly compensated, and two, properly supported. So I kind of took a leap of faith. I was like, I don't think y'all really feeling this. And then I also had the radio, but Max was gone. So now I'm doing it with like Travis, who I love, or Kelvin, who I love, or Sean Farmer, who we didn't have good chemistry, but I still love him as a dude. And I was just like, dog, it's time to move on, man. Like I'm in this old house and I'm starting to move to the basement, living with my mama. It felt like it's time to move on. So I did, but I moved on. People don't forget, I moved on with Jason Whitlock. I didn't move on with Emmanuel Acho. Mm-hmm. And so when I get there, Whitlock had this grand plan of making it like a Cosby show on TV in sports. So, he wanted to really put us, Uncle Jimmy, Cousin Darnell, me being the family man I am. And they were paying big over there. So I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. And I like Whitlock because of this. Whatever he feels, he gonna let it out. Now, I don't like how he always gets it out. That part, I'm like, dog, that's too much hot sauce. Dog, you didn't have to take that shot. Blah, blah, blah. But what I love about him is he gonna be himself. Okay, that's cool. We had a great show. Our show was killing it. Then he leaves in the middle of the night, dog. And I knew he was leaving, and that kind of hurt me because that's my boy, and I'm doing a show with you daily, and I know you're trying to dip, but you ain't gonna say nothing to me, and then you dip, and I gotta address it through the media and with you after you already did it. I ain't like that. Whatever, we still homies. Then my agent left. Now, this is what people don't know. My agent, who was a super agent, Nick Khan, who runs WWE now, he dipped. Now, Max done dipped, Michelle done dipped, Whitlock done dipped, Nick done dipped, and they all landed somewhere better for themselves in some respect. Now I'm sitting there like, man. And then they give me Acho. And what your question was, I had to just give you a little context. What your question was is like, dog, Acho snaked you. So why were you mad at it? What Acho wanted from day one was to be the star. What he also wanted to be was the alpha of the show. What he didn't know is I didn't want to do the show anymore as constructed as the media was. I don't want to argue with another grown man over the Jets winning by 3 points. I don't want to argue if Dak top 5 or top 10. Will I do it? Yeah. But I will be in the velvet coffin dying a slow death as I'm eye rolling. We talking about this BS. What if you watch the show, every time we talk about something, I'm doing this. We talking about life, bruh. We talking about how it really goes down. We talking about the streets. We talking about how it really affects us. And that's what Acho didn't necessarily want. He wants to be a star. And a star role in sports media is not what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to help him. So what he didn't know is I knew what he wanted and I knew how he was going about it. But once again, like Whitlock, I just sat there quietly every day working with my boy who was trying to have meetings and, having meetings and constructing different shows. And I just knew it. But I was like, dog, we are not fighting for the same thing. So therefore, I don't think you're backstabbing me. But the world at large takes it that way because they think I was dying to do that show again. Fox offered me another show. Fox offered me 2 other shows. Fox built this thing in here in my home studio. Like we were trying to get it going, and I wanted Acho to be the star he wanted to be in the role and the way he wanted to be. Ideally, they would have threw a bag at me, change, speak for yourself in a way that it could have been deeper. we could have did more, but they didn't. They kept it high, surface. And then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to do that. And that's it. I wasn't bitter because I wanted to go somewhere else and be better. Now, that's hard for people to comprehend because they like, dog, nobody leaves those jobs. I was like, people do. Shannon just did. Maybe Willock did. And we ain't the only one. So that's how it went down.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Marcellus. It looked like Will and Carlton. Like you was Will and he was Carlton. Like it did not look like, because Buddy ain't tapped in. I'm sorry. Like he ain't tapped into these streets. He not tapped into the culture. Like you're more tapped in. I see you out here. You have a lot of connections with people that people don't even know that you have connections with that are actually, not just, street people, but I'm saying like in the hip hop community and the executives and things of that nature. I didn't see that. So that to me, I saw just watching from afar, I saw the differences. And, there were a couple similarities that I saw too, but there were a lot more differences than anything. So I understand it. I just felt like, my man snaked him. Oh, hell no. No, we good, homie. We good over here. We not about to ride with that. But
no, I feel you exactly on that. Like, look, there are people in my family who ain't happy with him. I put it that way. It doesn't get to me. It doesn't get, and it's homies that ain't happy with him either. But I keep trying to remind them, y'all forget, I didn't even have an agent in my last 2 years. You want to know why? Because I was gone. Like I was already, I was like, I know how this is going to play out. Why? It just played out that way at ESPN. I know when Cass ain't feeling you. I know when Cass ain't feeling something, and I know what he was on. And I was like, why would I want to get in the way of what he wants to be when I don't want to do this? Now, that's just how I was built, man. I always take risks on myself. Like I went to Columbia. Everybody like, why you didn't go UCLA? Why didn't you go to Cal? Why didn't you go all the football schools and stuff? I'm like, because I want to go somewhere with a different look, different. I just do that, dog. So don't put that on Acho. But put this on Acho. He ain't tapped in, and that ain't what he's supposed to be. He ain't trying to be. Like, he just wants to be seriously. And I hope this doesn't come off as negative. He wants to be a star. And I'm like, go get it. And I still respect him in that vein. But nah, these streets and all that, y'all read it right. Van Lathan and all that, y'all read it right. He ain't built for that. He built for something else. And I hope he gets it because that's where his desires are.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the star left. Moving right along. You were also a part of something that really was serious at the time, and that was the Kendrick Lamar and Drake situation. And you were, you were tapped into both sides, from my understanding. And it almost went left, as we say. How did you get in the middle of that? And then how were you able to kind of stay away and kind of still stay neutral? Because sometimes that's tough oftentimes because one side wants to pull you one way, the other side wants to pull you this way. And especially with you being on television and having that influence, like how did you get through that, man?
Yeah, man. The reason I always tell the truth, even though sometimes it makes my friends unhappy, I get a text. Acho probably hit me like he's hit me before. Hey, man, what you mean by this and that and that? And I'll tell him the truth again. But I always tell the truth because that's the only way I got freedom, man. That's the only way I can live, man. I can't take care of you because to take care of you is going to hurt them. And then when I'm taking care of them, I'm going to hurt you. It's like, I ain't got time for all that. I got kids, bro. Like those, they getting the real. If my kids can hear the real, your grown ass going to hear the real too. So how I got caught up in that one was, and it's funny you bring this up because my boy just sent me some stuff. I guess Kendrick got a video out with Akeem, and in the video they loosely clowning Drake, like you can kind of see it. And I'm like, they just taking those friendly shots or whatever it may be. But we were filming with Drake one year, and for whatever reason, it's got to be God. Drake must be connected, the universe. We taped it. Instead of go live like we always went live, but this day we taped it. Maybe Drake's schedule, I don't know. And we taped it, and we were talking about like rap and all this. And he took a little baby shot at Kendrick. And don't ask me what it was because I don't remember. I've been hitting the head too many damn times. But I remember saying like, wait a minute, that sounds like a little shot. So then Max and I are doing the show. See, this is why I love Max, because Max can feel me when I'm like, hey. Forget what they said to ass. Let's go here. He like, let's go, dog. Like, he like, oh, dog. He always ready to go ride. And I'm like, let's ride and let's go get him. So then I was like, what'd you just say? And he doubled down on it. Basically, I don't know what their beef was at the time or their what the narrative was, but he laid into it. And then we was like, we did the rest of the interview. And then when it went, as soon as it went like this, cut, we went like this. We about to show this. Everybody gonna know this food. We gonna set this off. It's about to be some rap beef. And then them phone calls start coming. You can hear, you can see one producer just run off set like, okay, what you sure? You positive? No? You know when they came back? They was like, Drake people called. They thought about what he said on that interview and they were like, don't let that air. So then I give ESPN credit. He was hosting the ESPYs and somebody pushed back. Somebody said, nah, we gonna air it because why wouldn't we air it? It wasn't that bad or whatever. And plus we already put it on tape. Let's go. And then he put his foot down. He said, I'm not hosting y'all ESPYs if y'all put that out. And there it was. So I was like, oh, okay. So that interview lives somewhere on wherever they found the Rachel Nichols tapes. That's where that interview is. Damn! That's where that interview is. Wherever the hell that is, somebody got to go dig it up. Other than that, I don't know. Max probably don't know. But it was real in the moment.
Who was the phone call from? Did you know?
I don't know who. I would assume a manager. I'm just ear hustling because I'm like, you can just feel it like this ain't normal production. And then all of a sudden they trying to rewind it. Now we got to fill in some space and now we ain't going to get it. And I was like, man, y'all whack. So they know what they know how they really feel. Everybody know it's thinly veiled. That they like each other, but there's kind of something ain't there. Yeah.
I think both Drake and Kendrick are ultra talented. I think they're ultra talented artists. I think they really have done wonders for the culture. I always say, back in the day, Marcellus used to say, who's the top, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? And now I'm looking at Drake, Kendrick, or Cole. Like, those are the three that we kind of look at as far as pushing this culture forward. And there are others too, but I'm saying those three really resonate, pushing hip hop culture. So yeah, I love the competition. I just hope it continues to stay just competitive on wax and not escalate to like what Busta Rhymes said, last week on, a couple of weeks, I should say, on the BET Awards. Hey, look, we got to end this division. We got to start coming together. And I hope, eventually, I would love to see them two on a record together. I personally would. I would love to see.
I'm with you. Now I got to push back on Busta a little. Excuse me. Now, everything he said was beautiful. Hallmark card, utopia. Here's the thing. Rap is supposed to have battles. Beef is something different. But battles, let's go. I do not want all these artists kumbaya and on no damn records. I want you to attack. He attacked. When Pusha T went at Drake, and Drake went back and put T and all that. Come on. That's what I live for. Like when LL and Kumo D was at it, come on. When Ice Cube was like going at NWA, let's go. Now, I don't know. See, here's the problem. It ain't them. It's everybody who's trying to impress them around them gonna step it up and make it more than that because nobody want to take an L. But if these rappers could take L's, just like, or just keep rapping. Jim Jones right now, he going at, who is this?
Pusha T.
Pusha T, yeah. Again, yeah, Pusha. Pusha must got some issues or something. People are always at Pusha T. But the point is, I want that. I just don't want the whole, we 90 deep and we ain't gonna let you inside the BET Awards because we got our song dissing you. That's the part where I say stop it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I agree with Busta too when he said, man, we got to stop rapping about the same things. Percocets, drugs I took, bodies I laid down, the girls shaking their asses and twerking their stinking asses all over the stage. Like, I'm tired of seeing that, bro. Like, I was literally there at the BET Awards, and I love the hip hop version of it. They were paying homage to hip hop, Master P and T.I. and Bun B. Pimp C, rest in peace. They were doing all these tributes, Warren G and all these tributes. But then when it came to like a lot of the other, the crowd was just like lackluster, man. And it was just like, because there's no elegance. Black excellence was not totally in that award show that night. And me being there, I saw it firsthand. And I'm just like, dude, we got to get back to like bringing the Will Smiths back, to bringing the Janet Jacksons and the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's back. Because Coco Jones is an incredible artist. She did not deserve to be sitting there in front of a bunch of influencers and TikTokers and they not really feeling her song. She got an incredible song.
Great point, man. Look, man. Woo! You said a whole lot of there. Like I've been tapped out of the BET Awards, and I used to go. When I was active and playing, and I went, and it was a thing. But now, I think you took it to a greater conversation of just like you said, Black excellence. I don't like using that. Now that's me. I'm not gonna diss anybody who does. You know why? Because I was taught that excellence doesn't have colors. Like you can't be rich and then Black rich. Like, no, you rich or not, motherfucker. Like, you got it or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got it. It's almost like somebody always say, oh, I got this phone. It's kind of like an iPhone. I'm like, well, it ain't an iPhone. Then why you even bringing up an iPhone? Like, how you gonna bring up excellence and then be like having this little subdivision of like, oh, y'all okay, y'all getting there. Like, I would say this about Black excellence, that I always notice this, that one of our biggest hurdles is we don't think it's as cool as it should be to be like just a community, nice, like positive. Like we always think something like that got to go down at these shows. And I notice it because I'm like, I swear, I'm a sociologist. Like that was my degree in. I would walk into a war show and I would just look at a dude like this. He ain't gonna speak. Then the next dude that walked by, guess what I do? What's up, man? He's like, oh, what's up, Wiley? I'm like, damn, mother. Like everybody's so scared to like be first. Like I learned to give is to get. So I want you to be nice to me. Guess what I'm about to be? Nice to you. I ain't talking about how you look. I ain't talking about how many chains you got on. Do all that. I'm just saying, dog, break bread. Be nice. God dang. I don't like that part.
No, I agree with you. I mean, and you and I have disagreed on Twitter on a couple of issues, but we were not disagreeable. We were not disrespectful. Like, I would never come and disrespect you, and I know you wouldn't disrespect me. It's just we got difference of opinions, and that's fine. It's okay. It's not, we both don't have to be wrong. We both can be right, just in different aspects and levels. So I really wish society would understand that more, especially the younger generation, to really understand that, hey, man, it's okay to be who you're going to be. 2 quick questions really quick before I let you get on out of here, because I know you got to run, and I appreciate it once again, talking to the one and only, the great Marcellus Wiley.
We got to do it again, too. We got to do
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. You definitely got to do this again. Damian Lillard. And I know you talked about Damian Lillard. To me, I think he's an incredible, excellent basketball player. I love what he does for the community in Oakland, as well as what he does in Portland. I think he's really, truly committed to those cities as far as bettering those cities. You talk about an example of a young man that went through adversity and still kept his head up high and still persevered. That Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, and also my man got bars too. Let's not forget that.
Bars.
The best basketball rapper. Shout out to my boy Shaq, but I put Shaq at 2. I'm putting Dame at 1.
Shaq's a greater rapper. Like, he got all the success and the sales, but better. Hell no, ain't even.
Shaq set the trend for sure. I mean, I got to give him. He is the MBE. He set the trend. Yep. There's talk about him possibly leaving Portland. He's going back and forth, talking about meeting with executives. I'm doing this. In my estimation, you tell me yours, Marcellus, really quick. I think the bright lights may be too much for Dame Lillard, and the pressure may be too much for him if he moves out of Portland. Am I right, wrong? What do you think?
I think you're wrong on that.
Okay.
I think Dame Lillard is starting to maybe feel how heavy that pressure is year in, year out of carrying everyone else's expectations. And it's getting fatiguing. Like, it's just getting tiring. Like, look, I wish Dame Lillard would stay still. Why? Because I love the fact that he wants to build something in Portland. Why? Because I don't think that championships should define your career by itself. It's not binary, champions, non-champions. That said, he said something very profound. He's like, and I don't know if he still feels this way, but he said, I ain't chasing no chips, because even if I chase them, y'all gonna clown me if I get them. And he brought up Kevin Durant. And it's crazy. Like, so me, I don't let people move my goalposts. So you were talking about you left Speak and I chose Snake Chew and stuff. That's what y'all think, but that ain't how I feel. So I'm not gonna make y'all ain't gonna make me say that. I just wanted to dip. So here's the thing. I'm looking at Dame Lillard like, if you don't want to go, don't go. Like, stay in Portland. Even if you lose, it's okay, bro. Because these other people who didn't make it, these other people who are critics, and critics got critics. So I ain't gonna let you criticize me. They moving the goalposts on my bruh. So now it's like, oh, Dame don't want to win. They want to win. He just don't want to chase the win. And even if you do chase the win, give KD his flowers then. Maybe you'll get a KD to go, get a Lillard to go chase it. If not, I just think that really sports media is messing with these dudes, man. Like Skip, Stephen A, Colin, 3 dudes who didn't play at the highest level but can talk that talk. Make you feel something that you ain't never felt before, and it ain't good. And all of a sudden, you got an athlete caving into this dude on radio saying you suck. I wish I would, man. I wish I'd be like, yeah, I suck, all right. Interview that then, homie. I ain't
I agree with you. I think, listen, I give KD his flowers. I didn't give a damn because we always judge our athletes based upon what? Championships, right? Especially the superstars, not the role players or the bitch. What I'm saying, the superstars. So I had no problem with KD leaving, just like I had no problem with Dame leaving. I had no problem with Kevin Garnett leaving Minnesota and going to Boston. I had no problems with that at all. Who cares? Get your ring, buddy. You still great. And now you're even greater because now we can talk about you in that class. You in that special room now. So if Dame want to go to Miami or wherever, man, go get your ring, buddy. You deserve it.
But everywhere you go, there you are. They're gonna be clowning that. Soon you get there, oh, that's Jimmy Butler team. Oh man, stop.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Last question, man. If you were on an island and you only had 3 records you could play and bring with you, what would those records be?
Man, damn. You know what the first one jumped in my head for real? And this is going to be the most random stuff. I ain't going to lie. I would take Dog Pound's album, Dog Food. I got to bring a Michael Jackson. But I'm torn between Thriller and Off the Wall. Just throw one to the island, boomerang it. And the last one, Jesus. My favorite album growing up was Public Enemy's Takes a Nation of Millions. But then Ice Cube hit me with so many. I don't know if I'm taking Death Certificate. I don't know if I'm taking America's Most Wanted. But then Pac was best when he was in that jail mindset. And he wrote Me Against the World. I would have to balance it out. I'm going to take a Michael Jackson. Give me Thriller because Billie Jean on it. Give me Dog Pound album. And give me, I gotta have Cube. Fuck you. I'm sorry, Pop. I gotta have Cube. Give me Cube, America's Most Wanted. Fucking around in the crap game, made me think of soft. I gotta have that.
Oh, I was thinking Death Certificate, but okay, that's what's up.
I know. I'm wrong. I'm wrong, but I'm listening.
I personally, I love America's Most, but the album that resonated was Death Certificate, because when you listen to Kill at Will, it just set Death Certificate up so perfectly.
Oh man, that Death Certificate was just that proper tone, like once upon a time in the face.
Pride.
Oh, I love that shit. Oh, listen, don't get me going, man.
I think these are 2 timely albums of Cube. Death Certificate and The Predator, because they still resonate to this day. They still talk about issues. The Contract for Black America was what started with America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate, The Predator, Lethal Injection, even parts of West Side Connection.
Hey, dog, you don't want to go there. Even the Gorillas in the Mist.
Oh, the Lynch Mob album. Wait.
Banging.
The very first song, I'm not going to say it, but the very first song when you turn on Gorillas in the Mist and the Lynch Mob, the very first track, I'm like, that is the unedited version of A Contract for Black America.
I know, and I'm so mad at people who mad at Q for what he tried to do with Trump. He's just like, look, I went over that side, they were talking. He went over this side, they said, here's some money. Dog, and then all of a sudden, everybody gets mad at Cube. I'm like, what kind of world are we in right now?
Dude, I don't care. I still respect Cube. I love Ice Cube for what he stands for. Congratulations to him on the Big 3, first black, sports league that he created. Hey, man, and he's always been about our people. He's always been about the community. He's made big strides in the film world, whether it's for kids or whether it's for us. You know what I mean? So listen, if somebody gonna hear me, if they say, hey, Marcellus, you get to go to Marcellus, or you get to go to the other dude, and the other dude turned me off, and I got to go to Marcellus, and Marcellus, listen, guess who I'm going to go to? I'm going to you. Why would I not?
Who's in listening and investing in it instead of just giving you hot air. But that's where we are right now. People just choosing sides, no matter what logic they're standing on, what they're feeling. It's just the fact that that's what they want to do. Silly, bro.
Yeah, all day. Well, thank you so much, the one and only Marcellus Wiley. Let everyone know where they can find your show, man. They can keep up with you, and you know, people that want to talk to you through Twitter and Instagram as well.
Yeah, man. All socials at Marcellus Wiley. I got the 2 shows. I got Never Shut Up on Brinks TV, Reese TV. It's on YouTube as well, open source. And then I have more to it on iHeart with Dan Patrick as well. And man, I got my foundation, Project Transition. Just yesterday, I was at Mount Sac talking to the school, and I'll be at a school near you real soon, just giving out books and giving out game, man, trying to help people navigate through this situation, no matter what their circumstance.
Hey, Marcellus, real quick, man. Have you been to a WNBA game? Hey, what do you think about the WNBA as a league?
I went to 2. It sucks. Let me stop. But it's real. It sucks, dog. It's not just, look, some of the players have told me they don't like it. One, they got to play year round to really make the money they want to make. Mm-hmm. You know how that goes. You got to go overseas. But I've been to 2 WNBA games, man. And it's just not a great product, whether it's the marketing or actually watching them go out there and play. It's weird how their cachet is greater in college than in the pros. Maybe the zone, maybe the way that they played in college is conducive for it being a better product. I think the zone does help it, because then you got to break it down with fundamentals. But when you just watch the WNBA, man, you see somebody on the breakaway and then they throw up a layup underhand like this, like we in the 50s, and I'm like, hey, go over the backboard. I'm like, bruh. I mean, even when they make them, it's underwhelming. And it's crazy. And people always take this like I'm talking about women. I'm talking about basketball that sucks. I'm also going to say, you know what else sucks? I don't like to watch a lot of men's sports. I don't watch XFL. I don't watch USFL. Why? It ain't the same. It sucks compared to the NFL. Will y'all stop playing with me? Look, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm going to tell you I don't like it. Y'all can tell me why you like it. All right, you're the rating, not me.
Hey, you know what? One thing you would do better to improve the WNBA if you can do it.
Lower the rims. Let's just get an exhibition off. Look, it's going to be tough, but I say you got to try something. It's something drastic. The ball's smaller, right? Mm-hmm. The court is different. Like, everything is already abbreviated. Make the damn rim come down. Let them start banging like they at 54th Street Elementary School. Start hitting those. I might be like, okay, but it's just anticlimactic when you see the end game at the highest level. College, it's okay, because in college, I don't think you all are the greatest. At the pros, I do. And that's where you lose me. When these are the best women in the world playing, and this is how it ends on most plays, air balls going, oh man, stop playing with me, man. Lower that rim, let's go bang on somebody.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, like I said, I give credit to the women. They play their hearts out each and every night. There's some great women players out here, as you well know, that really give it their all and do what they need to do. So hopefully the marketing and the promotion will increase. I've been on that myself. Just increase the better marketing and promotional ability. I think that would help tremendously. So I'm still talking to the commissioner, man. So hopefully she'll hear me, and I keep pushing for that. But thank you so much, man. I'm going to let you get on out of here. You are checking out Marcellus Wiley here on the NH Experience. We'll be right back.
Gia.